This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
What you gonna do?
No, what are we doing? What are y'all doing?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Hello everybody, and welcome once again to another video here on the Junkyard News. And in today's news story, we're going to discuss an incident that happened in Tampa, Florida. And according to the Tampa Police Department, an officer was fired after an internal investigation determined that he applied an unauthorized use of deadly force while trying to detain, pursuant to arrest, a man back in April. Officials say that then Officer Michael Scaglione and another officer had responded to a home for the report of a domestic incident back in April of 2024. Now, when officers tried to detain the defendant and place him in custody, the defendant resisted, according to the police department. Now, TPD says the defendant refused to place his hands behind his back and actually pulled away from officers. Now, in body cam video, you can hear what you might perceive as an officer telling the other officer, let's take him to the ground. But the police department doesn't say it like that. In their description of the incident, they just claim that as they fell to the ground,
We'll actually go on the ground. We're actually gonna go on the ground.
Bro, it is my mother.
Let's go.
during the resistance, investigators say that body cam video shows Scaglione placing the victim in a chokehold, causing him to briefly lose consciousness, so deep of unconsciousness that he actually started snoring.
Put your hand behind your back. Let's go. Put your hand behind your back.
Now, Tampa Police standard operating procedures claim that chokeholds or other vascular neck restraints are prohibited unless deadly force is justified. And authorities say that the use of deadly force in this instance was not authorized, and the officer failed to also document his use of deadly force, as well as 3 to 4 strikes and blows to the head of the detainee while responding to the defendant's resistance. Now, TPD says that domestic incidents are one of the most dangerous and volatile situations an officer can respond to, and the dynamics can quickly change. It is imperative that even in the heat of the moment, officers must be able to respond accordingly to established policies and training procedures which were developed to ensure the safety of the officers as well as the public. And in this case, these standards and expectations were not met, and his employment was terminated. According to TPD, the officer was found to be in violation of policies related to standard of conduct, response to resistance, philosophy of enforcement, and attentiveness to duty. Now, Scaglione had been employed with the Tampa Police Department since August of 2016. Now, the president of the police union claims that the department made the wrong call in the case and that the officer will be fighting his termination. Now, the charges that the detainee and arrested man was facing was assault, battery, Mary Jane possession, and resisting an officer without violence. But prosecutors dropped the first 3 charges the following month. And just last Wednesday, prosecutors dropped the resisting charge as well, records show. I'd like to remind everybody that chokeholds are considered a use of deadly force by police for several key reasons. First and foremost, there's a risk of asphyxiation. A chokehold typically restricts the airflow or blood flow to the brain, which can lead to unconsciousness, brain damage, and even death. And while some chokeholds are designed to subdue a person without causing death, the risk of cutting off oxygen or blood supply makes it a high-risk technique because it has unpredictable outcomes. The effect of a chokehold can be unpredictable even when applied by trained professionals. A person's physical condition, such as an underlying health issue, can exacerbate the risk. For example, let's say someone has a heart condition. The stress of being restrained in this way can lead to cardiac arrest even if the chokehold itself was not intended to be lethal. Departments usually have a use of force continuum, and officers are typically trained to use force proportional to the threat posed by the suspect. Deadly force is considered appropriate only when there is an imminent threat of serious bodily harm or death to an officer or others. A chokehold, due to its potential for fatal consequences, is considered an extreme form of force, and its application usually requires some type of justification of imminent deadly threat. Part of the outcry that led to departments forbidding chokeholds is the lack of control and potential for misuse. Because even if an officer is trained in chokehold techniques, there is a risk that it could be used inappropriately, excessively, or just out of frustration. As it seems in this case, it was out of frustration. This has been a major concern, especially when chokeholds have been applied to individuals who are not posing an imminent deadly threat, but are instead just resisting arrest. And the potential for fatal outcomes combined with public scrutiny and legal challenges has led many law enforcement agencies across the country to restrict or even ban the use of chokeholds. When a chokehold results in a passing or serious injury, it can lead to accusations of excessive force, potential lawsuits, and criminal charges against the officers who applied it. Because of these factors, many departments have restricted and outright banned chokeholds in favor of less lethal means of restraint, such as using non-lethal weapons, joint locks, or de-escalation techniques. So what do you think? Do you think the union is going to be successful in getting this officer his job back? Do you think this officer is just going to pop up in the next county or next nearest police department? Don't forget to comment what you think. And as always, we thank you for watching this video by the Junkyard News. Be careful, people, or the next video we highlight, the next news story, we could be talking about you in the next one. Thanks again.
Here, step right here for me.
No, what are we doing? What are y'all doing?
Stop. Stop.
What are y'all
You're being
doing?
detained. Relax.
No, but for what?
Relax.
For what? My mother's, somebody's,
Relax,
Bro.
you're gonna go on the ground.
bro,
Relax, you're gonna go on the ground.
bro, let me, it is my mother.
Ground. Let's go. Stop. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Bro, what are y'all?
Stop resisting. I'm gonna tase you. I will tase you if you don't stop. I'm gonna tase you if you don't stop.
Put your hands behind your back.
When I hear it's coming, put your hands behind your back.
Back. Put your hand behind your back.
Let's go. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. Let's go. Put your hand behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back.
Where is this? 1 second.
Kevin, please! Kevin, please!
Put your hand back.
No! Don't hit him like that!
Put your hand behind your
That's
back.
two of you!
I'm bleeding in my nose.
Yes. Put your hand behind your back.
Get out now!
Yo, babe.
Don't hurt him!
Videos uploaded by the Junkyard News are helped in part by viewers just like you. You can show your support for this channel by clicking the thumbs up, sharing our videos, or hitting that all-important support button on our channel page. Don't want to miss a video or a story? Make sure to check us out and like us on Facebook at The Junkyard News.